Good morning, everybody. We're live here from the Birdhouse, and it is almost mid-October already. So I thought I would share with you guys some of my favorite products for the fall to attract birds to your backyard, including some new things that we have here at the store. As always, you can say hi in the comments. We love to know what kind of things you're seeing. You can put your sightings in the comments as well. Or if you've got any questions, you can throw them in there too. But let's get right into it. The first thing is, of course, with feeding birds and attracting birds to your backyard, the seed makes all the difference. So you want to make sure that you've got a good variety of seed and seed blends. Our most popular seed blend is our chickadee mix. There's a mix of black oil sunflower in there, striped sunflower, safflower, peanuts, and sunflower hearts. So there's really something in there for any kind of bird that's going to come to a seed feeder. And this is a great blend for all year round. So the birds really like the peanuts in there. That's got a lot of fat and protein. Same with the black oil sunflower and the sunflower hearts. So if you're not sure what kind of seed to get and you want to just kind of start with one type, our chickadee blend is the best way to go. We also have a blend called woodpecker, which doesn't have any shells on it, which is really nice. So this has a lot of peanuts in it. It has a lot of shelled sunflower or sunflower hearts in it. So you can still get a really good diversity of birds with the woodpecker blend if you are looking to have something that doesn't leave a lot of mess behind. The woodpecker blend is the best one that we have. We do have our deluxe birdseed blend as well, which is a really good mix, which includes some millet. So especially this time of the year when the juncos start to come back and people are getting white-throated sparrows and white-crowned sparrows in their backyard, sometimes they want to add a little bit of millet to the mix for those ground feeders, and the deluxe blend has that. Now you can always add just some plain millet. You can always mix that into something that you are already feeding as well. But if you want a mix that we carry that has the millet in it, the deluxe is the way to go. And then also a really popular blend is our Cardinal Elite, which has all of the Cardinal's favorites in it. Everything that is in our Cardinal Elite blend is also in the Chickadee blend, which is probably why the Chickadee blend is so popular. The Cardinal Elite doesn't have the peanuts in it. So if you're looking for something to still get lots of cardinals and songbirds, the Cardinal Elite is great. It just doesn't have as much in it as our Chickadee blend does. And another thing you can always put out if you want to attract the birds, but not get the mess, just like our woodpecker blend, you can put out just straight sunflower hearts and things like the red-breasted nuthatch here in the picture. Love sunflower hearts. There's no mess. And so this is just the inside of the sunflower seeds. So lots of birds can feed from this super, super easily. They don't have to crack open that shell. So the sunflower hearts is a great no mess option. And then of course we've got our hot pepper options too. The hot pepper seed that the squirrels won't eat. They taste that hot pepper on it. They don't like the hot pepper, but birds will eat it just fine. We've got several different types now of the hot seeds or spicy seeds. Our spicy blend is a really popular one, and so is the Mr. Bird Flaming Hot Feast. So can't go wrong with either of these. And we do have the spicy blends in 20-pound bags, and you can get those on our buy four, get one free special that we have going on. So we can take advantage of that and save some money on your hot spicy seeds. As far as feeders go, we do have a new one that just arrived from the Squirrel Buster company. We talk about the Squirrel Busters all the time. They're great weight-sensitive feeders that a bird can land on just fine, but when a squirrel gets on it, that feeder shuts down so they can't get to the seed. And the Squirrel Buster company has this one, which is on the left. This is a brand new one called the Evolution, and we do have these in stock. It's a little bit more slim than some of their other feeders, so it can fit in more of a tight space, but it does have that really nice large ring at the bottom so you can get the small birds coming to it as well as the larger birds. And we do have the caged feeders that keep the squirrels out as well. And this one in the photo on the right is very popular. It's called the caged orb feeder. It's good for the small songbirds, can pop right in there. They can feed from the seed, but the larger squirrels cannot get in there. So a couple squirrel-proof options. We have lots of other options to choose from, but these are just a couple that are new and popular. But if you're looking to have a big diversity of birds, hopper feeders are always great. Hopper feeders hold a lot of seed and they have a lot of perching room. So you can attract things like cardinals and grosbeaks to these pretty easily, as well as the small finches and chickadees and nuthatches. So hopper feeders are awesome. They're not squirrel proof like the ones I just showed you are, but you can squirrel proof them depending on your setup. If you mount these on a pole that has a baffle on it, you can make these squirrel proof. So that is always an option. But hopper feeders are wonderful, especially as the weather starts to turn. If you don't want to have to go outside too often to refill your feeders, hopper feeders will hold a lot of seed. We have some that'll hold up to 20 pounds of seed. So we've got some pretty big ones. And then, of course, the finch favorite blend. So on Tuesday, we're going to be talking about winter finches and winter finch eruption with Matt Young of the Finch Research Network. And if you are looking to attract finches, Niger seed is the way to go. And we also have a blend called Finch Favorite, which is a mix of Niger seed and ground up sunflower hearts. So this is great for things like the goldfinches and the chickadees. Downy woodpeckers will come to this. So if you're looking for a blend to be able to put in your finch feeder that has the smaller holes in it, the Finch Favorite will fit in there just fine. The birds can feed from it. So this is a really good blend. Most people who switch to the Finch Favorite blend from Niger seed, from just straight Niger seed, end up sticking with the Finch Favorite blend because the birds just love it so much. And if you find that, especially as it starts to get rainier or snowier, if you're finding that you're getting mold in the bottom of your feeders from too much moisture getting in, you might want to consider adding this to your feeder. It's called Feeder Fresh. They're little granules that will keep the feed dry. So if any kind of moisture gets into the feeder, these little granules will absorb it. It's totally safe and fine for the birds, but it's one way that you can keep your feeder fresh for longer. So you pour a little bit of this in the base of your feeder, you fill it up, sprinkle a little bit on top, and that will help avoid getting some of that buildup that happens at the bottom of the feeders sometimes, especially with the Niger feeders. Another thing you can do to help with keeping the weather out, is putting out a little weather dome. We have them in different colors. We have them in clear and blue and orange. And these you can just hang above your feeders. They're not a baffle. They're not big enough to keep the squirrels out, but they will keep out the rain and the snow. So this is one way to keep the birds protected when they're feeding. And it keeps things like snow from piling up on your feeders once we get to that season. So we've got weather guards and different types of colors. And as far as feeding goes, you want to make sure that you're feeding suet as it gets colder out. Suet are just these little blocks of fat that can go into a suet feeder, which looks like this. And these are some of our more popular styles. We have some that are in teal now, which you might have seen at the store. I really like this color scheme. But we've got a lot of what are called paddle tail feeders. And so they're these suet feeders that have this projection at the bottom. When the bird flies in and clings onto the cage, they'll use that little tail prop to prop themselves up so they are not flopping around on the feeder, and it just makes it a little bit easier for them to feed, especially those large woodpeckers like the pileated woodpeckers or the red-bellied woodpeckers. They seem to gravitate to these suet feeders that have the paddle tail, so they can be up and not flopping around on the feeder. Just makes it easier for them to feed. So we've got the paddle tail suet feeders for the small suet cakes. And then we also now have a paddle tail feeder for the large suet cakes. If you're feeding the large 3-pound suet cakes, not only do we have the paddle tail feeder for these large suet cakes, we now have a large upside down feeder for them as well. So if you are feeding these really large blocks of suet, again, it makes it so you don't have to keep going out and restocking your feeders and refilling your feeders. We do have paddle tail feeders for these large cakes, and we now have the upside down feeders for the large cakes. So we didn't always have those, so that's great. And a lot of people have been adding more seed logs into the mix with their bird feeding. These seed logs last longer than just the loose seed alone. If you ever watch the birds at your feeders, they tend to kind of perch at the feeder. Sometimes they'll take a seed and fly away, or they won't necessarily sit on the feeder for extended periods of time, depending on the bird. But with these seed logs, the birds tend to have to fly on there, cling onto the little seed log and peck away at it. So you kind of get to see the birds for longer. Plus, the seed lasts a lot longer than just the loose seed that you might pour into your feeder. So, for example, I'm refilling my feeders every day. They get drained really fast and by a lot of birds. But with these seed logs, I can keep one of them out in the yard for sometimes a week and a half. So you don't have to restock these as much as you might have to with your other seed, which is really, really nice. And of course, we have these in the hot pepper versions as well if you want something to attract a lot of birds, but not squirrels. And then as it starts to get cooler at night, you might see that birds are starting to go back into your birdhouses as a place to roost and stay out of the cool weather. We also have these little what are called roosting pockets for birds to pop in and out of during inclement weather. They love these kind of things to stay out of the snow or the rain or the wind. They're just little pockets, little grass woven pockets that the birds can use to stay out of the elements. And we do have a wooden version of it, which is really nice, that has perches inside. And these are made for birds to fly in and kind of just hang out on the perches. Multiple species will sometimes use these all at once. And this house is really nice because you can convert it to a birdhouse for nesting in the spring. So we do have the roosting houses in, we've got the roosting pockets in, so we do have some to choose from here. And you can offer water all year round too with a heated bird bath. And we're getting our heated bird baths in. We have some here already on display. We have some heaters on display that you can put into an existing bird bath. But the heated bird baths that are all enclosed with their heating elements enclosed are really nice because you can just plug them in and they operate on a thermostat, so they don't run continuously. They just run enough to keep the water unfrozen. And this is a great way to attract birds all winter long, especially if you have bluebirds. We hear about people who have bluebirds in the winter. They love these heated bird baths. So if you've been seeing bluebirds here and there in your yard, I would highly suggest getting one of these. Some bluebirds will go south for the winter, some do stick around. So if you've got some that are kind of sticking around, don't be surprised if they come to a heated bird bath that you might have in the winter time. And if you're looking to clean out that bird bath, especially now that all the leaves are falling and it can get kind of grimy pretty quick, we do have the bird bath brushes, which are really nice. They have stiff bristles on them, so they really do scrub the bird bath really well. And we also have these copper discs you can put in your bird bath, which were a new item for us. And I've been using one in my bird bath, and I have found that it does really cut down on the grime that gets in there. So the copper will just naturally kind of disinfect the water and keep things from, keep kind of some of the gunk from forming in that bird bath. We also have little enzymes you can add to the water to keep that from happening. But I've been having really good luck with this just copper bird bath disc. Really simple. Just put it in the bottom of the bird bath and just kind of refill it as I need it. Rinse it out, refill it. And I haven't had to do a lot of scrubbing in my bird bath this summer at all. So that's been a really good pickup. I'm glad I picked one of those up. And not birdie at all, but some new things that we do have in the store, some fall kind of things that we have in the store. Of course, if you're local to upstate New York, you can need your Bill's flag. We have Bill's flags. We have the bison that can stick in the ground, our little zebra striped buffaloes. So we've got lots of fun Bill's merchandise if you are looking for some. And we did just get some new things in store as well. We got towels by a new company for us called Buzzy. They are double-sided and they're a really nice microfiber cloth, really absorbent. We have them in different birdie type styles. There's a picture here of a bluebird, and then the owl towel is really nice. They're double-sided, but we have them with goldfinches on them, cardinals, downy woodpecker, chickadees. So we've got all kinds of different styles, and these are brand new, just came in. And these have been popular too from the Karma brand, these black and white mugs. We've got them with hummingbirds on them, cats, mushrooms, and we also got in coasters and napkins and plates with a beautiful crow pattern. And that's also been very popular. We've got a little bit left. It has been selling pretty quickly. but those are some new things. And just this morning, we unpacked these really beautiful purple limited edition platform feeders from Bird's Choice. So these are a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. So they do have a little label that describes that. But these are really beautiful purple color. I love these. So we just got some of these in. This might be, we only got a few, and I don't know if we'll be able to reorder them because they are limited edition. So if you love the color, definitely don't want to sleep on it. So that is what I have for you guys today. It looks like there's a couple comments here. Barry is on, it looks like from Brigham, Quebec, and he says, "Good morning, Liz. The dark-eyed juncos arrived this week, and this morning had a ruby crown kinglet this morning. Enjoy watching your program." Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I've been picking up some really fun migrants on my haiku box, which records constantly the birds in your yard. And I've been picking up white-throated sparrow, white-crowned sparrow, and the dark-eyed junco just came back into my yard this week, according to my haiku box. I've yet to see it, but it sounds like it's been there. So looks like that's everybody's comments for the day. So we'll be back on Tuesday, and we will have a special guest, Matt Young of the Finch Research Network, and he's going to be talking about the winter finch forecast, what we can expect of eruptive species, if we're going to get anything like the common redpolls down here for the winter. He knows all that kind of stuff. So excited to have him. He'll be on the broadcast Tuesday at 10 a.m. And so until then, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.